Hello, ladies and gents. Romie Reviews here. Please like, comment, subscribe. Before we get into it, please support my other channel, Romie Whispers ASMR. I'd really appreciate it. And the video below, tomorrow's Wednesday. You know what that means. New episode over there. It will be a food video. It will be a food video. It will. I just have to make it happen. It will. I'll record it tonight if I have to make it happen. It's happening. Some Japanese takeout, some hibachi. It's gonna be good. No talking now. Just enjoying of the morsels of food. Yeah, we started off this episode, which is of season 9, episode 13. Zip it. It starts off with Yandy. Yandy decides that she just wants to let the Cabela stuff go for now and enjoy her time in, I believe they're in Costa Rica. And so she gets on the boat. She gets on the bus, and apparently Juju killed a caterpillar. So they're making fun of her, calling her a murderer, and they also bring up the whole Safari thing. It's like, Juju, you feel like Safari's a good friend? No. They bring up the Yandy and Cabela thing. And both Yandy and Cabela acknowledge that, look, we can coexist and have a nice time and be cordial. It's no issue. All good. All good. No problems. They do kind of bring up, throughout the episode, they keep bringing up a couple of friendships. Like, well, before we do that, let's just jump to the zip line. That zip line was tall. It was so high up. I said the devil. That is the devil at work. 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 It was so high up. Juju was all of us looking at that thing like, nope, nope. But she decides to do it as well. Joe gets on one knee, and we thought, oh, he is not going to do this there. We know he's not going to do this there. So what is he doing? He was like, oh, I'm resting. But he's going to plan a nice little dinner for two and date night for them, which is very cool. So now, in pairs of two, they go, and it's really high up, but everyone does it, which was cool. Everyone does it, but before we get to that, we see Cabela. She's talking to Juju as well as Sin. And who are they talking about? Oh, they just bring up the fact that it's cool that Yandy is there instead of just leaving. I said, yeah, cool, great, copacetic. The views were fantastic. Yandy does talk to Maggie about, hey, so it's cool that you stayed and all. And she was like, yeah, Cabela and I have a real friendship, so it would suck for us to just throw it away because of some stupid foolishness. I said, okay, if you say so. Okay, if you say so. At this point, okay, if you say so. Jewels takes out the kids, and they go ice skating, and then Cabela calls to go and kind of rehash everything that's transpired so far. And how am I getting through this so fast? That's transpired so far, and she's just like, Yandy, she's still here. I didn't realize she was going to be here, but what matters most is we're being cordial. I don't know if we're going to go and repair anything. And he said, we were there for them when Mendices originally went away, so you're going to need all the support you can get. One of my favorite scenes of this entire episode was the Maggie and Mano. Maggie's whole thing is that, it's not just about the song, it's about the fact that you don't take, it's being dismissive. Kind of your response to me saying, I want to pursue music again. Because it's not, oh, I want to pursue music for the first time. That's not what I'm trying to say. She's saying she was doing it prior to, she went to school for it, she went to liberal arts school, and real life happened. Unfortunately, she wasn't one of those where when real life happens, she goes and just puts in the art and it becomes better. No, it's real life happens and she goes and has to deal with that. She has to deal with her brother. She has to deal with being shot. She's a different person than the person who was really trying to make it in the music industry, and or just flat out entertainment. And so then Mano, he said he apologizes, but the way how he apologizes is because first off, they're on the beach, they're having dinner on the beach, the setup was great, and he's just like, I understand now that one, me putting someone else on a song like that, that's definitely could be seen as just flat out rude. But most importantly, everyone has different struggles, and you're still trying to deal with, get past, really own, accept what happened to you. And I'm sorry that I didn't really see all that, and I didn't really help with that situation with you. And so she appreciates it, she accepts it, and they're gonna move forward. But I said, wow, that's what a real apology looks like. Take notes, people, take notes. Apparently, Sin and Joe did not have the loving date night that they both thought that they were going to have. And apparently, Joe was offended due to Sin being extra friendly and I guess flirtatious with someone who, well, I shouldn't say someone, but there was a jacuzzi. She wasn't in the jacuzzi, but she was. That's a problem. We didn't see it, so I don't even know what I'm talking about. There's a jacuzzi. Sin was supposedly being extra friendly, like how she normally is, and apparently Joe has told her in the past, hey, it doesn't look right when you're super friendly with people and it could be conceived as something sexual. And so I definitely get where he's overall coming from. I can definitely understand how, because that's just how she is as well, where she kind of feels like, hey, it's a super controlling thing instead of a constructive criticism thing. It's difficult. This isn't just some clear-cut mess. Now, on the bus ride the next day, Joe was giving some advice to Juju, because Juju is talking about how she hasn't really been able to go and even think about pursuing a new relationship due to how her last one ended and how long she was in that relationship. And the advice that he's giving, Sin says, that's great advice. Why don't you take some of that yourself? In her mind, in her confessionals. Juju has fear of like moving on and moving past. But then he then also talks about Safari and how Safari, he's also been jaded in a relationship, and things can act a certain way or not be the best friend, or be distracted. And part of me just said, I don't care. Juju does talk about how she grew up Section 8, poor, food stamps, mom struggling, and she never wanted that situation for herself as an adult. And so she's kind of put the focus so much on just making it, that I guess other things like relationships suffered. So now the group finally discusses the elephant in the room. Apparently the elephant was there, and we didn't know. Safari dating Erica Mena. They're engaged now, but dating Erica Mena. And Safari, he just feels like he takes it seriously. He's taking his time with this one, so he's not going to go and blow it by, talking about it too much. Sin's just looking at the whole thing like, I have nothing to say. I've moved on. I'm good. Do you, bruh? I thought you would chose someone else. All in the look. So while Safari is still talking and saying how, at the end of the day, he's going to do what he wants to do. So yeah, my DVR just went wacky for a moment. Oh, I'm so glad this show's almost over. Anyway, there was a conversation that I missed, and I said, I watched this show once already, and I've listened, so whatever. Let's just go to the main crux. Safari and Juju, they talk separately from the group, because multiple times in the episode it was clarified that Safari isn't a good friend by Juju's definition. Apparently Juju recently lost a friend. I don't know what the disease the friend had, but the friend died, and so she just takes that seriously more than ever regarding, if you're my friend, it shouldn't be a situation where I'm the only one reaching out to you. You're supposed to also reach out to me, which is true. She is right. She is absolutely right. If it's a one-way street, then that's not a friendship. Or at least, no, I'm sorry. There are some friendships like that, but that's not a friendship that she wants. And so he acknowledges that, obviously he's had a rough year as well, with his uncle being killed, with him being robbed, social media, and he also acknowledges how, when stuff happens in the public, sometimes the only way he knows how to handle things is to shut down and, not communicate, and he's been told that before, that that's a huge issue for him. And so obviously Juju said, well, you definitely shouldn't do that to people who care and put time and effort into you. And he was like, you know what, you're right. And so he apologized for his lack of putting effort in. Kimbella was talking to Sin, and Sin's irritated. Sin's just like, she's not a little girl. Don't tell her what to do. Don't be demeaning and all of that. I'm thinking, this is two things. It's not clear and obvious. I really think this is a situation where I can see most of the attention being put on Sin. People think that just because Joe's career is huge, that he's just, blowing up, doing his thing, that just means that, in his everyday life, the attention is just put on him in all ways, shapes, and forms, when that's not the reality. The reality is, in his relationship, since his now fiance, the baby, he has another son, there's just a lot of attention being put on everything else. And so I can see how both of them, like Sin wanting to consistently be doted on, because of course she deserves it, but it has to be a two-way street. I don't know if maybe in other relationships she didn't feel like it was a two-way street, and so in this one she's making sure that her voice is heard. I don't know. It ends off with Juju saying that she wants to go and do the ceremony on the beach, where they all go take something negative, get it off their chest, and just burn it, leave it there. So Joe wanted to direct his energy to Safari, and Joe was very pissed at Safari, because apparently Safari and Erica were down there. Yes, Erica Mena was down there. She was not hanging out with them or anything. But it sounds like, from what I'm hearing, they did ask him, hey, is Erica going to be down there? And he said no. And he clarified that at the time, she wasn't supposed to be. It was not planned out for her to be down there. And she's a grown adult. She can go wherever she wants. She wasn't on camera, or at least as far as we know. And it almost makes me feel like, hey, was Erica, did they see Erica during date night and that partially just made things worse? I don't know. But I think Joe was, even though he was rightfully upset at Safari, because they found out, Safari never told them. They found out. And so that's why he's upset. Joe doesn't have a good relationship with Erica. Sin, they had a toxic relationship, and so it's just the whole courtesy thing. I get it. Now, all of that... excuse me, sir, I'm grown. Safari and Joe are the same age. I know a lot of people don't know Safari's age, but Safari and Joe are around the same age, or at least very close in age. And so for Joe to be yelling at Safari like he's his home dude that's young and dumb, I was looking at Joe like, sir, Sin don't co-sign this. She didn't say anything. In her confessional, she loved it. But I'm like, Joe, now you know you're upset mainly at, well, not mainly, partially at Sin. And so then Safari, who you were cool with, went and did something that you thought was very disrespectful. So now you're combining both of those energies and launching it at him because everyone was looking over like, where is this coming from? For this? It's like, for this? So then that ends that. Please like, comment, subscribe. The season finale is next week. Thank God.